Okay, that's RBL Bank. Just one correction to what I said. The watch list has gone up by 80% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. The slippages are up 5x. Ravikant Bhat of IndiaNivesh joins us on the phone line. Ravikant, morning. If you had invested in the RBL Bank IPO at 225 and you've not exited even when the stock went up to levels of 600, 700, now you're pretty close to the IPO price. Any fall from here on and then you would be losing money on your investment. What would you recommend long-term investors?
Well, I mean, if somebody has bought that long ago, then they definitely are not losing money. We have cut the target price, but we are still saying that the stock should, the fair value for the stock is 370. So for anyone who's already bought and who's already, holding it, should obviously, continue to hold it. But the fact remains that the pain has substantially expanded compared to where the bank was in the previous quarter. So in that sense, there is a significant loss of value. There is structurally the stock has got derated.
Ravikant, is some of the sharp correction today also on account of just disappointment, because the management has been on media saying that over the last a fortnight, 4 weeks or so actually, when the price has been correcting for most financials including RBL, and assuring things are not really all that bad. What they've disclosed in the previous quarter, there is not very much materially different, and then we get a result like this. Is that also a large part of the big correction we're seeing today?
Prashant, in fact, it is the large part. It is this sense of disbelief, which wasn't, which has only increased with the latest set of results. When you identify, 10 billion of stressed assets, and then you state, that is expanding to 18 billion, 1.8x increase in a span of single quarter. That does create a kind of disillusionment, and a lot of this. See, what happens now here on is, now it all enters into a more speculative territory. Whether this 1800 will now go to 2400, or whether it will come down to 1400, and you can have your own estimates and I can have mine, but there is this sense of disbelief, and this is what is causing the sharp negative reaction that we have seen today.
So the management is saying that they expect normalcy to return by Q4 of FY20. Would you believe that, or is there disbelief in that now?
No, I would hope the normalcy would return, and if one were to look at, even if one were to consider, the slippages will be what the management has been talking about. The thing which I would want to relook at is whether I would really want to, keep giving the stock a higher multiple that I was giving previously. So normalcy will happen when it will happen, maybe in Q4 or maybe in Q1. But my sense is, as far as recovery in core multiples are concerned, value multiples are concerned, that's going to take some more time.
So just run us through at 247, what is the stock trading at?
So at current market price with our adjusted book of, we are looking at 168. The stock is at 1.5. Not long ago, it was more than double this valuation. So 1.5x FY21 price to adjusted book.
There's other fish in the water as well. I mean, I've seen reports saying, well, why not move to something like a federal bank, slow, steady, cleaner. So maybe move out of this one too. I mean, of course, it depends on what your purchase price is, what your risk tolerance levels is. So it's different for everyone. But any thoughts in terms of comparison where RBL is in the cycle right now as compared to maybe a better option?
See, I mean, RBL has its, has developed its own franchise. I mean, if you look at RBL's earnings, and if you look at Federal's earnings, on the fee side, RBL is extremely strong. On the core earnings also, RBL is extremely strong. But yeah, I mean, I would concede that Federal has been more steadily growing. But as far as earnings are concerned, I think Federal has had its own set of struggles with respect to reaching 1% ROA. So it's really at what valuations you are entering. If you ask me whether I have valuation comfort in Federal Bank, there is valuation comfort in Federal Bank. Is there a valuation comfort in RBL? There seems to be a valuation comfort, except the fact that this gets capped by the uncertainty that's there because of the commentary on asset quality. So I think if I were to make a choice, Federal may look more safer now compared to RBL.
All right, Ravikant, we'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for joining in. The Asian Paints conference call has started.